One of my cousins published a book, and the book had the title Fragile Human Organs. And I think that title describes very well the what we are as people. Fragile human organs. It's very crazy that yeah, that doesn't work where ego is concerned. Yeah, people don't really understand that. It's logical for intelligent people. Oh, okay, there's snow. I will get up 30 minutes earlier because I can visualize the problems. Yeah, 8 out of 10 people can't visualize anything. So they they don't understand that they need to set their alarm clock 30 minutes earlier because why I set my alarm clock at the same time every day. Why should I change it? Why should I get up earlier? Blah 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 blah. Yeah, and then the business is business, right? Business is business. Time pressures. You have 3 hours to be there, and the business doesn't usually factor in the weather, which is interesting because I was doing a little project with the CBRE shopping center and the Europa shopping center, and we were looking at factors affecting buying habits. And one of the factors that people forget is the weather. The weather has an extremely strong effect on people's buying habits. So much so that a lot of the top British retail companies have weather specialists. They even have meetings every morning. Every morning. They are used to having grammar point meetings every morning to check the weather for that day and the projected weather for the coming days. Every single day, 30-minute meeting to discuss the weather and how the weather that day is going to affect people's habits. It's incredible. And if you think about it, the winter's coming, people are going to buy more winter clothes and boots for the snow and maybe... Oh, yeah, okay, yeah, it's more normal in winter to have hot food and cooked food than it is in summer. So it'll affect those habits. And so these big retail chains then have to plan how they're going to distribute their goods in order to make a profit from the people's buying habits created by the patterns of the weather. But people don't, people just get up in the morning and go to the shop, right? They don't realize there's a massive amount of background information happening in these things, and then I was quite surprised that they have these meetings to discuss the big supermarkets have these meetings to discuss the weather and how the weather will affect what the customers do. And if the customers will travel to the shop or not travel to the shop, what kind of special offers to have for that day. If it's going to be hot, maybe you want to have some special offers on, I don't know, swimming pools, sunglasses, beach clothes or something. I don't know. Yeah, it has a strong effect, has a powerful effect, and that leads to the understanding that the environment affects our habits. In fact, so much so that it almost controls our habits. And when we try to enforce our control over the environment, you get these accidents. you get these problems. This is when, we think that it doesn't matter. The weather doesn't matter. The environment doesn't matter. Well, it does. It matters a lot. What is happening in the environment. And people throughout history have been extremely stupid. Pompeii, right? Oh yeah, we've got this nice, we get this nice warm water from the volcano. Yeah, but the volcano could just explode, and it did. Or San Francisco. Let's build a city on a fault line, which every 100 years moves. All the buildings are going to fall down. It's just tick tock, tick tock. It's just a question of time, basically. Let's live on a tropical island in a tsunami region, where every 20 or 30 years, everything and everyone is destroyed by the environment. It gets very crazy, and we forget. We think that we can control it, and there are always examples of facts that we can't control it. There's giant torrential rainstorms in South America that just destroy whole villages, especially in the very poor regions there. Dry weather in Mexico and those desert areas where there's not enough water. Let's have a city, California, where there's basically no water now. A massive water shortage because they have so many people and not enough resources.
Under this earth is tectonic
Plate.
plate. Yes, and so they're moving.
Yeah, the whole Mediterranean region is moving because that's where that's why we have the Mediterranean, right? Because the two land masses are moving further and further and further apart. That's why we have that big area of water in the middle. So I think that there are really good websites with statistics for earthquakes, and if you look at it, every day there are around 1,000 earthquakes in the Mediterranean region, every single day. Very small ones, but they're there. So it's constantly moving. That land is constantly moving, and we do crazy things to live in a nice place, which is, I guess, it's warm in summer and not the worst place in the world to live. But we forget that the whole planet is is moving. Yeah, we you said it perfectly again. We see what we want to see. We don't listen. Again. Well, I didn't say that, but probably it's possible. Everything is possible. Yes. We don't listen.